Welcome everybody to Pirate Skills. Today you're going to learn 6 lead nurturing tactics to make your fresh leads into real sales in the B2C world, in the B2B world. You guys are all welcome. And what I built for you today is a poster, something you can download and get inspired by. If you are asking yourself the questions, okay, Ben, lead nurturing, I buy that. What should I actually be doing? And you can get it at pirateskills.com/tactics and download it over there. I'm going to show you what you're going to get. You get a Miro board that you can clone for yourself. If you click here on the name, you can just duplicate it and change it to your will. Or this time, I also included like downloadable PDF versions if you really want to put it up somewhere. And on the left-hand side, and when we go through each of the 6 lead nurturing tactics I've mentioned here in detail. You can also find a lot of stuff on our freshly redesigned homepage. If you now go to pirateskills.com, Ali created a lot of direct links to interesting topics. And what I like the most is under the main call to action, free journeys, you get a list of all of the journeys that we have built over the past in the correct order. So how does the 6 lead nurturing tactics now work within the current series that we are doing? First, we talked about what is the good growth tool stack for you to build traffic, generate leads, convert. Then last time we talked about how to create interactive lead magnets that are more engaging than just download the PDF, where people can actually do something like answer a quiz, get an answer, a calculator, without the need to code. If you're interested in that, just click on it and you get that as well. This time we talk about what to do with the leads, and next time we're going to talk about how to track whether or not this is successful. Hope that's an interesting series for you. For me, definitely it's exciting. So let's get back and dive right into the 6 lead nurturing tactics. The very first one is, to me, the most important one. I try to put in 2 beginner-friendly, 2 intermediates, and 2 advanced tactics. But beginner not to be confused with you shouldn't have this, even if you're advanced. This is absolute need to have basics. A personalized welcome when somebody signs up through your lead magnet, you're offering a PDF or you have a quiz, the first thing that they are getting needs to be personalized. I know a lot of teams who are collecting emails and then they wait for the upcoming newsletter to say hello with a pretty much random message that is not very personalized to what people actually signed up for. So this is why I suggest those 6 emails to send to people after they signed up. And by the way, if you want to do it with a messenger bot like WhatsApp or Messenger from Facebook or Telegram, that works all as well. But today I'm going to talk within the frame of email. The first thing you should be sending is the opt-in. The opt-in has the job of making you more compliant for data privacy concerns. So people want something from you and you tell them, in order to be allowed to send it to you, we need your consent. And in order to verify that it's really your email, you need to press a link there. We call this a double opt-in. It's a long time standard in Germany and the EU, and it's spreading throughout the world. A big disadvantage of this is if you make this part of your welcome series, is that you do not have to send the boring MailChimp generic email confirmation. And you can send something really personalized. Let's say you promise them a download like the interactive lead magnet guide. Then you can say, like, in order to send to be able to send this lead magnet to you, this specific one, I need you to verify your email. And another nice thing, you can skip this in your automation if people have already the yes, I double opted in tag. Yeah, we're going to talk about tagging a little bit. So that's the first thing I'm taking. I'm making the double opt-in part of my experience. Now, the next thing immediately after that, You want to send them what you promised. Oh, I'm going to get the 6 lead nurturing tactics. Here they are. Even if they are already seeing it on the website, make sure they are getting an additional email in case they switched off somewhere or they want to go back to it at a later stage. Have a nice email that tells them, here you go, here's your PDF, here's the link to your quiz, here is access to this or that. That they have an additional anchor point and you guide them through the onboarding experience from here out. And then what we want to do is just to send a couple of emails that are semi-related to the initial promise that you sent. And then we stop that series. Yeah, and it turns into something else. Now, what should you be sending next? Maybe a week later. Some people like to send it more frequently, like 1 or 3 days later. I'm a guy, I usually like to send this here on day 0, this is on day 0, and then maybe this is on day 7. Yeah, this is I hope you liked it. Do you want to talk? Like in terms of, hey, do you want to have a sales call with me, or do you want to buy something? So why so direct? Because this email ensures that you have a pretty early time frame when your lead nurturing tactics might already pay off. Imagine we would wait for the pitch like 4 weeks. Yes, this might be more prudent if you have a long-term perspective, which you should be having, on building value first, which is very commendable. But in order to reduce the time in which you regenerate the revenue that you had to invest to pay for the ads, for example, it is very helpful to have a pretty early, very direct sales pitch in a personalized way. You know exactly what they downloaded. Let's say they downloaded the interactive lead magnets guide. Why not make them a very specific offer? Hey, should I help you implement those interactive lead magnets? Can I be of service? And then you will send them maybe 7 days later. That's your decision. I would go for 7 days. If you like this, what you already have gotten, you'll love that. And you give them something complementary that is also free if possible, or maybe a low tier price. Since you already made the pitch in the email before, I would suggest something value driven again, especially since the next one again is, do you want to buy X? Do you want to buy this complementary product? So what we have is value, sale, value, sale, and this is just an automation step. So we got 5 emails, real emails. 3 out of them are just functional or value, and 2 of them at the maximum are sales driven. Now, all of this is in the frame that you know what they initially got. This is the personalized welcome that I'm talking about. You can drag this on as long as you like. I have a preference of just sending maybe 2 to 5 of those emails. That's it. And from then on, take them to the next step. So what's so awesome about this personalized welcome experience? People have a way higher engagement rate that are going through such a personalized experience than if you just send the generic stuff. You get a higher percentage of people even opting in, you get a higher open and click-through rate, and you have a higher probability to make a sale and then to take them on from that part of the journey to the next and increase the commitment over time. So this is the first tactic. You see, it sounds very basic, but it just needs to be done. Yeah, what I do this with is MailChimp, Klaviyo, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot. It doesn't matter. All of the email tools, they're doing that. And at the end, I'm saying, okay, if you got the 5th email, send them to the next series. And that is our second lead nurturing tactics. Tactic number 2 is the Evergreen Series. You probably have created a lot of content over time. Yeah, when you look over what I just showed you on the pirateskills website, and you look what we produced just within the last 1 or 2 years, just 1 lead magnet a month, essentially, yeah, is what we are building. You have so much to show from the past that is of value to your customers, hopefully. that you don't want to just show the one thing they opted in for. You want to show all of your great stuff. You want to show your best free content. You want to show your best product, and you want to cross promote your different channels and services and opportunities that customers have with you. And you just want to rotate through that stuff. Free, sale. Yeah, like Gary Vee says, jab, jab, right hook. And just keep that going. There is absolutely no reason to ever stop this Evergreen series. I know teams who have 30, 50 emails in this Evergreen series, and that keeps the communication alive. They do this in parallel to their normal newsletter. I always think about it in terms of what would be the absolute best customer onboarding experience that I could ever build in terms of a messaging or email series. Starting with the personalized welcome series to get them on board with what we promised them, but then guiding them through our lore, our concept of what we believe, what helps them most. And I'm pretty sure if you think about that, there is for specific customer segments an ideal sequence of information. I do not fall into the illusion that everybody opens my emails and reads every word. But there is still something like in a specific order in which they should experience stuff. And since they can engage with me and interact and click links and log in and ask questions and set up appointments, I can direct them over time into specific parts of this Evergreen series. And whatever they have already gotten, let's say they already have the interactive lead magnet, then I can just skip that email in the automation and just go on to the next one and keep on providing value. And this maybe happens every other week. With pirateskills, we send our newsletter on the first and third Monday of the month. That makes sure everybody gets the reminder for the event and the upcoming event that you should register for. And in between those weeks, we try to send out those automations. And this is a beautiful way to stay in touch with people on a weekly basis with an evergreen, always excellent, all of our best stuff series, and a current zeitgeist-oriented sequence, which is our newsletter. And this is what you lead people into. Those two series have the strongest impact. It never stops. You always have like 2 weeks to build the next email. So don't tell me you can't do that. Okay, then what do we do with the email, with the people? The point of a lead nurturing campaign is not to just build trust, even though this has been greatly done by the Welcome series and by Evergreen. The main point is to close people. It's to contact them, those people that are ready. And we do this by tactic number 3, which I call score and contact. The first step is to think about each of your customers as of different value, not meaning that like in a human way, but in probability of buying from you. Let's say somebody with 1 point in lead score has almost no probability to buy, and somebody with 100 points has an extremely high probability to buy. So we call that lead scoring. And I think it about in this terms. I try to think about points that I can give people for relevant activity. What I do is signups for lead magnets, is activity in my emails, like opening and clicking on links, visiting of key websites, like my pricing page, for example, has a higher value than just another blog page. But if they keep on visiting the blog, that is also a very good signal and gets a couple of points every time they do that. If they fill out forms, which means registering for an event, using the contact form, signing up for an appointment, those can have different points depending on the value that you think that has. And then, of course, if they buy something, this is not the end of the journey, but hopefully the beginning. We're going to talk about the value ladder in a moment. But all of these activities done by your users They get points for that. And then that allows me to sort my leads in my CRM. It could be, as I said, the MailChimp, the ActiveCampaign, the Klaviyo. And I can sort them in my CRM by lead score, which allows me then to filter out the irrelevant ones. Maybe my team tested everything and I can just filter them out. And now I can get in touch. I can give this list to my sales team or use it for myself. And then I get in touch with the best leads first. You have a very limited amount of time in your business, and you want to use that time for yourself and for your salespeople by the best way possible. And if you don't do any lead scoring, if you just randomly, for example, contact people in a personal way, you're very probably wasting your time. Yeah, be smart about that. And automatic scoring makes your life so much easier in that regard. And then how do we want to get in touch? In B2B, in these days, we want to send them a message through something like LinkedIn, a personal message on email, or we just want to call them. Yeah, sounds old school, works. I'm pretty sure if I wouldn't put out anything on YouTube, if I just invited people to the monthly event and had a personal follow-up with the 5 to 10 most interested people, then I wouldn't need to do anything else. I just have different goals on top of that as well. But making sure that you use the opportunity to get in touch and not to just let that slide. It makes your whole B2B communication much more human and really looks like you're not just in an automation, but you're getting in touch, you're sending messages. How to do this in B2C? For me, it's how frequently I make very direct sales pitches through email. If they get a higher and higher lead score in B2C, I just pitch them way harder and for higher price products. And that's how you deal with that. So this is tactic number 3. Now we are already like in the intermediate section. I still think this is pretty basic, but thankfully it has become basic. So most of the CRMs I talked about, they just offer this very simple way to do lead scoring. If you go to YouTube and then search for lead scoring, my email tool, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, you very likely get tutorials, like 5-minute tutorials that will explain it in detail to you. Okay, we got that out of the way. This will make the money. Yeah, the automatic things, they are all good, and we are always grateful if a large percentage of our revenue comes from no-touch experiences. But the reality is we need to do this in order to make the most. Now, going on to number 4, segmenting and personalizing. We talked about the Evergreen Series, but as I said, in between, people are engaging with us. They are telling us, oh, we are more interested in this and that kind of topic. Let me show you on the pirateskills homepage. We have now clustered our topics by interest groups. People who are into content marketing and social media, they now can see all of our yellow topics like LinkedIn content magic, video content marketing, storytelling with products, the content journey map. They see it all clustered, and we know if they keep on visiting those, they are most sensitive for products that are related to that and probably to the workshop about content and storytelling. If they are more in the analytics part, they might not be as interested in storytelling, but more deeper content and maybe our workshop to set up your analytics right. And this way we can start to segment the people. And I think about it in terms of tags. So every interaction, they sign up for an analytics lead magnet, they get the tag analytics plus the tag name of the specific lead magnet. A tag is nothing else than, how do I explain it? Just a little label that you put on the contacts. All CRMs should be supporting this. Just if somebody does something specific related to a specific topic, you can label them with that. That can be simply the blog view, but most frequently you can label them for interactions within their email campaigns or if they subscribe to specific forums. Now that we have those indicators, those opens, downloads, and purchases, we can now put them into buckets. To me, buckets are very practical personalization groups. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I have 6 different topics that I specialize on, and I might do like 3 to 5 buckets for this. Yeah, maybe the content and funnel building in one, the data and conversion optimization, and maybe strategy and traffic. Yeah, we would put them in very practical buckets. Whenever I think I should be communicating with those people differently. For example, I have a team that does a lot of fitness related stuff, and the communication for men and women is very different. And those would be 2 big buckets, like the gender bucket or the hardcore fitness guys versus the casual fitness guys. And this then helps us to build funnels. Yeah, you maybe start all here in the Evergreen series, but then you start breaking out into bucket A, B, C. And what this does, it continuously matches your interests, and you can skip all of the content that people are probably not interested in, keep on feeding them. Now, if they give you new signals, hey, besides analytics, I'm also interested in funnel building. Yes, you can now feed them those kinds of content pieces as well. But segmentation and personalization gets very important once your email lists goes beyond like 10,000 people. In B2B, it is interesting if it goes beyond 3,000 people. Yeah, but then at the latest, you should start thinking about how do I make more personalized experience? We do this for 2 reasons. It's a better user experience. It converts better to sales. Yeah, this is tactic number 4. Now, those are the intermediate ones. Now let's try to look at a bit more advanced ones, or that are simply more work to implement. Now, this is one of my favorites. Number 5 is the value ladder. Value ladder means to me that you have an offer, a commitment option for your customers. It starts very low, hopefully free, and then continues in price and value. But they do not run into a wall because you only have the 50,000 euro a year option. You give them a way to qualify towards that. This is what we call a value ladder. I learned this concept from Russell Brunson and many other smart marketers that have found out that this makes it more easy for people to get to know you, to trust you, and to work up towards that value. Now, where I start is free. And with the pirates, we have this saying called give, 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 ask. First, we provide value. We show that we are really experts at what we are doing. We show that our product is delivering. We try to do that free or as cheap as possible. Typical free stuff would be like the interactive lead magnets, like quizzes and downloads that we already talked about, or free webinars. Low price products could be something like your book or an information package that you put together between maybe 10 and or like 1 and 50 euro. That would be a low price offer already. Yeah, but try to start for free, earn the trust, and then go for a low price offer where, you know, if you have an email list with 1,000 people, you could easily sell this to 5 to 10% of that audience. Yeah, they would think like, dang, that is an option that I like. I have a project where the team sells a series of books, and all of the people are just, this is very pretty famous funnel from Russell Brunson as well. It's called the free plus shipping funnel. I tell you, hey, get the book on the house if you pay the shipping. And then you pay like 3 euro, 5 euro for the shipping, depending on where you are in the world. And this does the following. It doesn't make a lot of money, but it creates commitment. And commitment is our goal with lead nurturing. We try to go from micro commitments like clicking on the ad, signing up for a lead magnet, engaging, then buying something more. That is, of course, giving you a lot of value. And we have proven that we are trustworthy before that. So that is the job of the low priced offer, to get more people to commit. And then you go into your bread and butter product, your main thing that you're selling. This is the core of your business. Essentially, those two steps, they are just to qualify, the first two steps. Yeah, they're just to qualify. Now you do your bread and butter stuff. And you deliver that, you are very good at that, and I don't have to tell you, yeah, that this is very important. But this is the point where you want to sell it. You let them jump over the free hoop or the low-priced hoop. If they want to buy before, fine, but you don't expect that. But at that point, you start hard selling your main bread and butter product. And then the last piece, of course, this is not part of lead nurturing, but it is part of customer nurturing. And I don't believe it should be differentiated like greatly between lead nurturing and customer nurturing. It should be one smooth customer experience, getting to know you, committing a little bit for free, and then becoming customer, and then staying and becoming a loyal high-end customer. For those people who are at the high end, you should be offering a high-end offer, something that costs 5 to 10 times more than your bread and butter offer. Why? Because there is a small part of your audience that is willing to pay that, and that is willing to get the offer. If you usually sell something for 3,000 euro and you have an offer for 30,000 euro, and I know businesses that absolutely have this and have great success with it. If every 10th person who bought the normal offer at some point then upsells to the 30,000 euro offer, you just doubled your customer lifetime value. And it doesn't need to double, even if it's just every 50th one. Yeah, it's a huge increase in customer lifetime value, which lets you drive way more value through your funnel. And it just makes your nurturing efforts so much more worth it if you can do this. So have these unicorn products for the high end if you can. Of course, there is a lot of work behind this, but this is why this is an advanced strategy. Tactic number 6 is split testing your automations. You guys know I'm a nerd. Yeah, I can't skip such a beautiful step. Split testing automations has a simple goal. First of all, what is it? If people are coming into your email sequence, they're getting a lot of emails, you always think about, would this email work better or would this email work better? And a lot of tools are not really allowing you to do split testing of automations. They just assume that this is a linear process. But choosing a tool, for me it's ActiveCampaign, yeah, or Klaviyo, that allows you to say, with this automation, with this type of content, with this offer, would this actually yield into a higher conversion rate and higher value? That is so core to our experimentation mindset that very often gets lost when I talk about lead nurturing, because the assumption always is people end there, they go into this evergreen funnel, then they might go into an evergreen segment of a funnel. But how do we know this is the correct order? How do we know we send the emails fast enough? How do we know if we should slow down? How do we know this is the right offer at the right time? It's only doable if you do split testing here. And all we want to do is just get higher conversion rates, get more engagement faster in our nurturing funnels. We do not want people to wait 2 years to convert. We want to help them tomorrow. Yeah? And in order to get closer to a shorter time frame, we have to test. So what do I test usually? I try same content, just different frequency. Going from twice per month to twice per week, for example. Or if I notice that I have very high unsubscribe rates, first of all, I can work on the content, but I can also work on the frequency and send less often. Then the timing. Should I send the email directly after they signed up? Should I follow up the contact thing that I talked about with scoring and contacting? When is the perfect moment to do this? Should I let them wait for a week, or should I call them the minute after they signed up for a call? And then, of course, what do you offer the people in your lead nurturing sequences? There are always products that are really high seller, and then there are some slow sellers. Maybe I can dig into the data and see the slow seller is really working well in that segment of the audience, and now you can split test and see if that's true or not. Then I always try to test the type of in-person follow-up. Should I be scheduling through email, through LinkedIn, through whatever? Should I give them an option to just reply to the email, or to click on the button and do a Calendly call scheduling? I butted my head against for pirateskills for Calendly scheduling, but nobody ever did it, and they just sent me emails or sent me LinkedIn messages. So just gave that up for a while, trying to reintroduce that. But sometimes the type of in-person follow-up can make a great difference. And since this is your probably most time-consuming thing that is triggered by the automation, you want to be testing that. And then don't settle until you have the best possible experience. I already talked about this with the Evergreen funnel. There is an optimal experience to get to know you, to become a loyal customer, and every step in between. And I invite you to not just build those nurturing funnels and just leave them, but to treat them as the way your customer approaches you, and then use your creativity and the value that you build, that you keep on tweaking each point in the funnel until you have achieved the best possible experience you could imagine for your customers. And split testing the automations is the way to go. If you do not have the option to split test, you can still just switch the content and see, oh yeah, is the open and click rate better, and are people actually engaging and buying? And this is my 6th step here. Let's look at the complete poster again. Hang this up on your wall, put it as a wallpaper on your computer. You can get it all at pirateskills.com/tactics. I hope you enjoyed the 6 lead nurturing tactics, and I hope to see you at the lead tracking guide. Get there, register at pirateskills.com/lead-tracking. If you want to go even deeper, we have built a complete workshop series around this. Check it out at pirateskills.com/workshops. This is where we go through all of the 6 topics and give you the foundation in full day Zoomish workshops. Would love to see you guys there.